And I think it is really important that all of us get together and do what we can, do our bit to support this enormously important cause. So please join me in warmly welcoming Shri Kiran ji.
Namaste everyone. Jai Shri Ram again. Thank you so much, Rajiv Bhai, for the introduction. Actually, there is no one that can talk about me like him here in Australia, because we have had such a long journey. And also, I feel privileged that he spoke about me, because all of his Hindu work, one of the first foundation that laid to that was in fact Rajiv Bhai. Because when I went to Home Ministry to ask in 2017 or 2018 on how many refugee camps are there in Bharat that are for Hindus, I got a number that 3, and by that time I already knew that there were 11 camps. So I understood that no one had the depth of what it is. So I wanted to take up something called Bharat Refugee Yatra, starting from Kanyakumari back to Kanyakumari, and which is about 13,000 kilometer yatra, where I exactly don't know what was I exploring. I just wanted to find Hindu brothers and sisters wherever they are, as a refugee or a displaced. So there are 5 people that I thought of, whom will not question of what I'm going to get out of it. Just trust me and then come forward to support. And Rajiv Bhai was actually my first call on that. So thank you so much, Bhai, for always giving that confidence. And thank you so much for Australian Hindu Association, Amendra Bhai, literally I normally go out and ask, but he himself, the moment he got to know that this cause is coming to Sydney, he himself have organized everything. He have taken the initiative along with HCA, Sai ji and Shobha ji and all of them. Everyone have put their hands together, but he is the one that have initiated this whole thing. I'm forever grateful, Bhai, for giving this introduction about this work, because the idea of me coming this time here was to consolidate our own people so that we understand where we are as a Hindus and as where our Hindu refugee bandhus are, basically. Okay, so thank you so much again for organizing, and thank you for each one of you for making your time and then coming here to understand this cause. And a lot of you already seen what I do, and then you already heard it, so I would not like to talk much about me. This important discussion today, or this crucial dialogue that we all been thinking about, why is it so important? Let me tell it to you through the stories of my people rather than myself. After a day of celebrating her puberty, 11-year-old Hira, she was sleeping, resting on her father's shoulders in Mirpur Khas district of Sindh province, Pakistan. On a day where her puberty was celebrated, as I said earlier, she was transforming into this magical womanhood. Unfortunately, she was kidnapped at the gunpoint at the stroke of a midnight. She was kept in a religious institution for over 2.5 months, where she was abused by multiple people. After 2.5 months, this little sister was thrown in front of the village in Mirpur Khas as if she was a sack of meat. And the perpetrator sent out a message to his father that you Hindu community have been crying that you don't have a proof about the girls that we take, which is our right. This was the message. So, but now you have a proof in front of you, do what you want. Let's see what you can do. And this is not in the past, this is 2018, February 27th. And unfortunately, just like they have challenged, our Hindu community couldn't do anything about it. It just went around few WhatsApp groups like always, and then it died down. But why did they target this one girl? As I said, the message was for his father, for her father. Why? Her father was one of the very few voices in Pakistan who was standing every single time our women were being used as a commodity for conversion through kidnapping and remarriages and all that. Especially in 2012, when one of our brave sisters, Rinkul Kumari, at the age of 18 again, she was kidnapped at gunpoint from her home in Godki of Sindh province, Pakistan, where she was married off on the same day to a street gangster named Naved Shah. But her family was little rich, and with the help of the Hindu Samaj, they protested and the police were forced to write an FIR. And then she was presented in the court. Where in the court, in front of the judge, the brave sister clearly said that I want to go with my parents. What is the judge supposed to do? What did he say? This is recorded in the court. He said, as a married Muslim girl, your parents' home is not your place, so I can't send you back there. And then he added to that if your Hindu community starts protesting like this, I won't be able to give guarantee to the lives of people in Godki, Hindus in Godki. Imagine a judge telling this in the court. So you can understand where our position is. And then he said that I need more time, and then he adjourned the court and then asked her to send her back to the perpetrator's home. But thankfully Hindus continued their protest, saying that her life was in danger. So she was ordered by the police to bring her to the police station, where they went, got wrinkled from there, and then they put her in a jail. Imagine a victim of kidnapping and forced marriage ending up in the corridors of the jail. How shameful is that? And then in that jail, the perpetrators have visited her. The police have bet her up to say that when you go to the court, you accept Islam. And finally, 18-year-old Wrinkle was brought to the court, and look at this brave sister. She said, I was never a Muslim, I will never be a Muslim, I want to go back to my parents. Look at the bravery of the sister. But what was the court supposed to do? Send her back. But what did they do? They said that you need some time to think about it. Now that you are already certified Muslim, you will be sent to shelter home, which is called as Darul Islam, where she was kept again for 14 days. So you can only imagine what all she must have gone through in that shelter home. Still, she fought back, and the case went all the way to the Supreme Court, where she was clearly about to say that I want to be a Hindu and then go back to my family. Without even taking a statement, they have closed the case. Even the Prime Minister of Pakistan couldn't do anything, because there were hundreds of gunmen outside the Supreme Court saying that if anything goes wrong inside, it's going to be not good for Hindus. And finally they have suppressed this case, and then Wrinkle was forever lost from the Hindu community, despite her bravery. So this happened in 2012, and she have written 2 SMSs before disappearing. As I always say, I normally don't follow script because I speak from my heart, but I wanted to quote the way the sister wrote it. So I'm going to read her 2 SMSs that she has sent for her mother. She says, Mom, leave me and migrate to India so that I could give up my life with ease. These people blackmail me that my family would be wiped out if I persist. If I refuse to take a meal, they manage to force me once a day's meal under the threat of guns. Mia Mittu tells me, who is the sheriff there, that if your relatives couldn't save you in Godki court, your people couldn't save you in shelter house and Supreme Court, do you think they could ever free you? And she continues, I just want to be with my mother. They force me to eat beef almost every day, but I throw it away. I simply survive on vegetable and pulses, just to be alive. Mom, please tell me when you are migrating to Bharat so that I could die. This was her message. And then she followed it up. Mom, please tell me, they tell me that they will be taking me to Saudi Arabia during Ramadan. I refuse, they threaten me with gun. Mom, I want to die, but God is not permitting me. Putting all effort, you couldn't save me, I am sorry. And then she sent a shorter last SMS. I came to know that my brother had got married. Look at my fate, I couldn't even sing Sehra, which is a Sindhi song. I planned a lot for my Pawan's marriage. Mom,
what my bhabhi think about me. Tell her that whatever happened was not Wrinkle's fault. I heard that Uncle Rajkumar, who is one of the premier person who have headed that protest, had left Pakistan, asked for forgiveness from my behalf. Tell uncle it was not my fault. Please never delete these SMSs. And then she disappeared. So you can see this have created a wave of migration towards Bharat. When we were doing research for the policy that we are going to introduce soon in the parliament, hopefully, it very clearly has a massive spike in 2012. After that, between 2014, almost equaling 1971. So people have lost complete support on the system, and then they started migrating towards Bharat. Imagine how sad it is that 11-year-old Hira was 5-year-old back then, and then they waited for 6 years until she hit puberty to send a message. So just look at how cruelly they plan and execute this whole thing. Right? And her father tried to come to Bharat in 2012 itself after this happened, but again our research says it takes 8 years for a Hindu family to gather money, get passports, visas on an average to come across to Bharat. So can you imagine? They cannot go to Afghanistan. Who goes to Afghanistan? They cannot go to Iran. They can't fly. Why? Because 71% of our Hindus that cross the border after so much of trials and tribulations that they face to safeguard our dharma are coming with less than 4,200 as their final money into Bharat. Average family of 7 coming with $80. Can you imagine? They cannot afford anything but the train ticket to Bharat. So they cannot come anywhere but Bharat on the planet. No one will give visa, they don't have money. So after this is exactly what CAA was also addressing to. Who is a refugee? Any individual who is forced out of their country because of war, religious persecution, or natural disaster is considered a refugee. Our people are clearly going through religious persecution, so they should be considered a refugee. On that note, CAA was introduced. But all of you know what happened. The protests, everything so much so happened. And the Western media, you know what happened to CAA? The same laws. United States has Specter-Lutenberg 2004, where they only let minorities from Iran to come. No one ever questioned them. Why is it that always Bharat is questioned on how we take care of our own people? Today we are 4th largest economy. We just completed world's largest democratic elections. We feed more people than many countries on ration. Today we are so powerful that we can take our own decisions. But unfortunately, because the government doesn't have our voices backing them, they are not able to introduce many laws. Article 370 or Ram Mandir was possible because every Bharatiya wanted Kashmir to be part of Bharat. Every Hindu wanted Ram Mandir. Hence the government was able to go ahead and do it. But when it comes to CAA or farmer protest, things like that, we have no idea, no awareness, so no support for the government. And this is exactly what is been doing this. And despite India not being a refugee signing to the Refugee Convention 1951 or the 1967 protocol, Bharat is the largest host of refugees. Be it the Tibetan Buddhists, be it the Sri Lankan Elam Tamils, we are the largest host. But somehow, somewhere, when it comes to Hindus, we always shy away. Take the example of Bhutan. 100,000 Hindus were thrown out of Bhutan overnight, and not a single Hindu were let into Bharat. All of them ended up in Nepal, from where 83% of them were taken to Scandinavian countries, and today the research says that over 90% of them are converted Christians. Only 17% went to US, and then few of them again came here and all, and one of the key organizations who did was Seva International. And then they still remain Hindus. So this very clearly says that we cannot depend on UN, we cannot depend on all these women organizations and Dalit organizations, because today our women are being used as a commodity. I have never seen a women organization coming forward. All 90% of our people that are coming are SC/ST community. I have never seen a Dalit organization coming forward. Why? Because they don't look at these our people as women or Dalits. In this case, they look at them as Hindus, because they are coming as Hindu. No one wants to support them. It is a matter of convenience for them. So that is the reason we need to create our own policies. We need to create our own ecosystems. So our idea is to build an alternative to UN that will stand for displaced Hindus no matter where they are on the planet. But it starts with Pakistan. Because in Pakistan, the religious persecution is already established. Bharat have already spoken on the United Nations. So what is stopping us to give our people refugee status? So what we are requesting in that policy is, as and when a Hindu from Pakistan is coming to Bharat, receive them with respect and dignity. Give them refugee status. They deserve to be a refugee. Give them an identity first. Right now they come, they're just wandering. They Pakistan passport se koi ghar bhi nahi dega, koi ghar mein andar bhi aane nahi dega. No one will even let you come inside. So let us give them, acknowledge. And all of you know that when we go through something, if someone that we care for us, just sit with us and acknowledge what we are going through, our pain comes down. So they are looking towards Bharat, and if we are ignoring them, imagine the pain that they go through after that. And that is what I see every day on the ground. So what we are saying, as and when they come, our people deserve to get a refugee status. If you agree, say Jai Shri Ram. Under that refugee policy, what we are requesting the government of Bharat is, because our people are coming with meager $80 for an average family of 7, they deserve to resettle, rehabilitate in Bharat. Under this policy, we are asking government of India to give our people 6 months of transit home and 6 months of groceries, so that they can have some respect and then dignity in our country. If you agree, say Jai Shri Ram. So this is all we are asking from the government of Bharat, and this is not something new. Like already for the Tibetan Buddhists, we are giving them travel card. So why not give a refugee card to our people? Already for our Elam Tamil brothers and sisters, just as they rightfully deserve, there is a separate rehabilitation department under Ministry of External Affairs. We are giving everything on the house for the last 30-35 years. So can't we give 6 months for our people who are going through religious persecution and coming to Bharat? So hence, these are some of the laws that we have been hoping to introduce. And in my heart, I know that the present government, and hopefully within 72 hours we will form the government again, and this has the intention to do and stand for Hindus. But unfortunately, all of you know, the moment this policy is introduced, all those narrow minds, all those conditioned minds who thrive on frenzy creation and fear mongering will open their toolkits. And they will start spreading against anti-India, anti-Hindu, and all of those things across Bharat. But we don't have a voice to talk against it, and that is exactly what we are doing now. So what we are doing this time is, rather than coming from top to bottom, we are taking this from bottom to top, where all our community is very clear. We are aware of why this policy is needed, so that when it goes onto the floor, all of our voices stand together. That is exactly what this policy needed. And then if all of you stand, whoever is on this place, because remember this, that every year 1350 girls between the age of 11 to 16 goes missing in Sindh province alone. That is 3 girls for being Hindus goes missing every year. As Amendra Bhai was preparing this event, today, coming here and doing this whole thing, there were 3 girls that went missing. As we all been planning the day to come here. Imagine what they go through. And whom do you think told me the story of Hira? Just take a guess. She herself. She still survived. She's thriving in one of our camps. I was there when I received her in the border. I didn't know exactly what happened with her. But the moment we met, it was such a organic brother-sister relation that we developed. And later on, when she settled down, she taught me cooking. I used to stay in the houses. I live in the huts with my people. And one day over cooking, there is a book that I'm writing called Silent Refugees. It's called The Last Chance. It's going to come soon. We are waiting for the right time when the policy goes down. So in that book, she understood that I needed stories. Because I was staying there, I was writing, it was difficult for me. So she said, "Bhaiya, main aapko kuch bolu?" And I bola, "Haan, bolo." And then she told this whole thing. By that time, I already knew. I just heard. And then an automatic question came, like, how did you survive that 2.5 months? 11-year-old, fragile. She told me this exact sentence in Hindi. I'll try to translate it. She said, "Bhaiya, as and when someone opens the door, there used to be people coming in uniforms, wearing different kinds of stuff, and they used to come. The moment they opened the door, I used to freeze my body and divert my mind and take my mind to my village, where I played with my father and cousins and everyone. And that is how I survived." Imagine 11-year-old girl fight to survive. And those are the people that are coming to Bharat. And if we cannot do something to them, please understand this is not a Pakistani Hindu problem. It is happening to them because they are Hindus. It is a matter of Hindu identity. If it is happening to them, we should consider that it is happening in our own home. Because it is happening to them because they are Hindus. And then this is a Hindu problem wherever we are. As long as we are not reacting to Hindu suffering anywhere on the planet as if it's our own, they will even tomorrow write that we have enjoyed our suffering and pain. Like how Amindra Bhai said, if you look at the population decline, how many Jewish brothers and sisters were slaughtered in Holocaust? Any one of you can tell me?
80 million?
6 million. 6 million Jewish were slaughtered in Holocaust. Do you know the decline of population versus the increase of population in Indian subcontinent for Hindus and Sikhs in Pakistan and Bangladesh? The number comes to 69 million Hindus goes missing. This is 10 times bigger than the Holocaust. And what was the peak of the Holocaust? 1933 to 45 it happened, but it was from 41 to 45, 4 years. Soon we will be 80 years. This is 20 times longer than Holocaust. Is there a museum? We don't even know about it until now. Right? So what is it lacking? That is something that we need to build. We need to build these ecosystems. And today, as I said, this fear-mongering frenzy creation will shout back at us, but I want our community to be ready. Because today, the Hindu Yuva, what they call as extremes, what they call as bucks, whatever they want to, what we are fighting for is truth. They are the one that thrive on creating chaos. Blame them, not us fighting for truth. And then just like how our Mundaka Upanishad or our constitution itself says, Satyameva Jayate, only truth shall prevail. Sri Ram, we will definitely win. And just as we all think that Hindus are meager, Hindus are meek and everything, trust me, historically, what rightfully belongs to us, we have always reclaimed. Be it when our mother was taken, how Ramayana happened, when one of our women was abused or subjected to what do you call as, I don't know what, the name also doesn't come for what happened to in Mahabharata in that court. When that happened, we did wars. That is the kind of lineage we come from. So today, when this is happening, we cannot be calm. We have to reclaim what is rightfully ours. And for me, in this yuga, with the Ram Mandir being reincarnation, I think that reclamation have started in a new cycle in Kali Yuga, and we should all come together and reclaim everything and anything that what is rightfully ours, and then safeguard each and every displaced Hindu on the planet. And hopefully, as I said, Satyameva Jayate, truth will ultimately win. We will definitely win. Jai Shri Ram.